you for the reminder prior to start the recording. I just want to welcome you all to the professional development session of the graduate student orientation. We are going to record this and have it uploaded with resources and links after the sessions have completed. We have one more session today I'd love to invite you to, which is our mental health and self-care session that starts at 4:30, and you can find that link on our website. Just a chance to learn about some resources we have available for grads, and then also to just hang out with some other grads and just talk, hear about some experiences, in graduate school, and to share your own experiences, how you're feeling about the upcoming year. So we have some great speakers in professional development today, and first I'm going to be welcoming Megan Tischner and Ariel Barat there, both representing the graduate school today, which is like the home base for all grads. They were represented in our welcome session, but also they have a lot more information to share here today. And I really recommend that you get to know these people, because Ariel and Megan are, great allies to have. And I'm pretty sure that Megan knows all the secrets of campus. So she can definitely help you. If Ariel and Megan can't answer, they can tell you where you can get the answer. So they're going to start us off. And then after then, I know at 10 past or 15 past, Megan Bucks from the Learning Commons will be stepping in. So just to give you a little heads up about that, ladies, and I'm going to pass it off to you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. So just once again, I am Megan Tischner. I am a program manager for the graduate school, and I do a lot of work with the professional development that our Central Graduate School offers. So I'm going to start first by talking about our Preparing Future Faculty program. We'll take a little break for some of our other wonderful professional development offerings from across campus. And then Ariel will talk about a few more professional development offerings that the graduate school has to offer. So let me share my PowerPoint as I talk about, sorry. All right. So once again, I am Megan, and Ariel is a graduate assistant who works for the graduate school office with our professional development offerings. Our contact information is on there. Please do feel free to reach out to us with any questions about professional development or just graduate school in general, if there's anything we can help you with. And also, you can also reach our graduate school office at our grad.info@uc.edu email address if you have other graduate education related questions. But let's just dive into preparing future faculty. So PFF, as we call it, is a program for students who are either considering a career in academia or are actively looking to start a career in academia. So sort of the main goals of this program is for those of you who are exploring the professoriate as a career. We provide instruction in modern teaching to help you be a better teacher. And we also help you with the actual job market, the academic job market. So we are preparing you to be a better teacher, and we are preparing you for the competitive job markets. PFF is part of a nationwide movement. So a lot of other schools do have PFF programs, although what PFF looks like from school to school varies a little bit. Just for some quick background, the initiative was launched in 1993 to help students in the R1 very high research institutions prepare for the job market, where they may be going out to teach at very different types of institutions. So students may be studying at a institution like UC, but then going out to actually teach and work at private liberal arts colleges, or like NKU, which has a lot of undergrad and master's program, but not so much doctoral programs. Or they may be working at community colleges, or just the vast variety of colleges and institutions. But these institutions where they're actually teaching have different focuses on the actual work that professors will be doing. There may be different emphasis on teaching versus research versus service. So the point was to make sure that students who are going from the big R1s, very high research, are really prepared to succeed and thrive in these variety of college and university environments. So very quickly, for example, you would find PFF programs at Ohio State University, Duke University, UK, U of Michigan, all these others. And what was found in the early 2000s was that PFF, these programs do give aspiring professors a competitive edge in the job market. It really does help students who are preparing to go into this market be more competitive. Here at UC, we offer a Preparing Future faculty program that's at the center of what we call a cluster. We work with other institutions in the area to help students connect with faculty there and learn more about what faculty life really is like at these other institutions. And as you're moving through the program, the actual components of the program consist of doing reading groups where you are getting together with other students, now virtually, to discuss readings on a theme. You're attending workshops. There's 2 courses that are offered as part of the Preparing Future Faculty program. And the capstone experience is this mentoring experience where you are spending about 40 hours, usually over the course of 1 semester, working really closely with a faculty member at another institution to get some really deep insights into what their faculty life is like, how they are expected to spend their times in terms of teaching versus research versus service. And there's other things you can discuss with faculty if you have a specific interest, whether it's some type of teaching method that you're really interested in digging into. Recently, the flipped classroom was a really hot topic of interest. Whether you want to explore work-life balance, whether you want to explore the tenure process, this is a really good opportunity to just pick someone's brain and just get their insight into their faculty experience. With our current program, we've structured it so that it's a tier system. So you start out doing this small experience, and as you complete the small experience, you can move forward and engage in additional activities leading up to sort of our 3rd tier, which does have that mentoring capstone experience. And the point of the tiers is that you can really pick what engagement level is right for you. So if you only have a little bit of time to devote to PFF, you can still have some experiences to help you improve your teaching and get a little bit of insight into the academic job market. But if you want to have what we would consider sort of our full experience with ending with the mentorship, you can do that too, or just somewhere in the middle. And at each tier level, as you complete it, we will provide documentation that you have completed these various tiers. And some of the benefits of our Preparing Future faculty program here at UC is that PFF can be really flexible. The point is that PFF fits around your academic program. You participate when you can. This is not something that's going to extend your time to degree. And with the 3 tiers, it's a much lower commitment at the beginning. So if you just want to find out if this program is right for you, you can take on that first tier and see if that's something which is helpful for you and works with your commitments. And if you like the first tier, you can move on to the second, and then you can decide if you want to move on to the third. And also with PFF, because we have students from across the university, there's lots of opportunities to connect with graduate students outside of your program. So you may be very familiar with what is going on within your program. You may know your fellow students very well. If you're a TA in your program, you know what other TAs in your program are dealing with. But through PFF, you can have conversations with students in other colleges, in other programs, and really get into some discussion to find out what's going on in other parts of the university. What are other TAs dealing with? What's the same? What's different? Are there things other programs are doing that you think are really helpful for you to know? So this gives you an opportunity to engage with other students around the topic of teaching and the academic job search. And we have heard from some of our PFF graduates that completing this program was really helpful for them. One of our current UC professors was a PFF student while she was here as a doctoral student. And she found that the PFF program was really helpful when she entered the academic job market. And obviously she was successful. She's here at UC. So I just wanted to go through that very quickly. This is just intended to be a quick taste of the PFF program. And if you're interested in learning more, reach out to me, reach out to gradpff@uc.edu. I have another staff member who works with the program as well. And we would love to meet with you to really discuss more in depth about what PFF has to offer and whether this would be a good fit for your time here at UC and your career goals.
Thank you, Megan. The PFF program is really exciting. It's one of the things that I know I was most excited about when I got on campus, and I will be joining the reading groups hopefully this year. I think it'll fit into my schedule. And the reading groups are a myriad of topics. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you sit in, and I really encourage grads to email Megan. And does anybody have any questions about PFF before we move on?
Yeah, I have a question. Is there like a limit or a time frame when students can participate? Like, can one participate maybe a year before they graduate or a semester before they graduate?
You can participate at whatever point you want to. There are certain experiences where we have suggestions where they would fit in best. So most notably with the academic job search course, we definitely recommend as much as possible line that up with the start of your job search. So that usually means, the course is offered every spring. So we would say either right when you're beginning or right before, that's when it's most valuable. But at any point, like you can start in PFF your first semester and maybe just do a reading group or some workshops and get that done. Definitely, we see a lot of students doing the mentorship experience in their last year. That's pretty common. But we're willing to work with your schedule and you do stuff. If there's a semester you can't participate at all, that's fine. We understand. So at any point, once you're a grad student here at UC, I do see a question, how does one get into the program? If you go to our website, grad.uc.edu/PFF, there's an application page. It's a very simple application form. There is no cost to apply. So that's there. If you want more information, email us and we can also just directly send you the link. But the application is on our website, no cost, and it's a pretty short application. We do ask for one letter of recommendation, but it can just be a one-page letter of rec from your faculty advisor or another faculty you've worked with. And that's it. It's a pretty simple process.
Thank you again. And I hope that I'll see some of you in those reading groups. I want to pass the session off now to the representative that we have from the Academic Writing Center in the Learning Commons. And then we'll be returning back to the grad school later on. But we invited the Learning Commons with the Academic Writing Center within it here today because we know that grads take all aspects of their academic career very seriously. And there's a lot to be learned and opportunities through there. And we also recommend to you and your colleagues, we all feel that at this point in our career, we've written so many dang papers that we're ready to move on to grad school. But, there's always room for improvement, and writing changes the way that, may become more mechanical, more professional, and the way we aim toward our audiences. And the Writing Center is really they're geared to help with that. So with that, let me pass it over to Megan Bucks.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. As said, my name is Megan Bucks. I'm actually the Associate Director of the Learning Commons, which is a larger organization that includes the Academic Writing Center. And we're absolutely here to support you throughout your graduate school journey. I'm going to take a few moments to speak first about the Learning Commons as a whole. I think that many of you as graduate students probably interact with undergraduates, and so our Learning Commons services are really relevant to both you as grad students as well as undergraduates who you may work with, and you may be the person who can link them to those supports. All right, so the Learning Commons is a centralized support on campus. I just wanted to give you our website. We also have a phone number that you can give us a call if you or a student ever have questions about anything that our office provides. So, all right, so what is the purpose of the Learning Commons? Well, the Learning Commons is really the hub of centralized academic support at UC for UC students. And we bring together best practices in teaching and learning, insights from faculty. We have partnerships with faculty, as well as hundreds of peer educators to create a flexible programming for academic support at UC. We employ probably about 300 undergraduate and graduate students in various roles in our office in order to provide this peer-to-peer education model. And we also oversee innovative first-year programming. So we have learning communities and also some interesting content and hybrid combinations of first-year programming that help students succeed on campus. So why are we so interested in peer-to-peer engagement? Well, research shows that it works, right? If you engage in these so-called high-impact practices where we really have peers who have been successful, who can mentor younger students through these early years, in particular through their college career, they tend to be more successful. And so they facilitate a lot of the support that we offer. Some of the formats where we offer this support could be small group activities, project work. Students work on preparing for exams together, and they might also work together to get help on course material. So these are some of the formats that our peer education models take on. We have two types of supports. Mainly, we have subject supports. So these are supports that are specifically targeted toward specific courses or specific subject areas. We have a Math and Science Support Center called our Math Center. It supports the subjects that it implies, right? If this is small group study tables that occur, it's a drop-in service and students do not need an appointment to come and get help there. So we offer tables for various subjects at different times throughout the day. We also have an academic writing center, which I'll talk about more specifically in a moment. But this center offers one-on-one tutoring of writing. Everything for this fall is appointment-based. And we can tutor on all different types of writing and all stages of the writing process. So everything from brainstorming to formatting and citations, right? We also can do feedback on both assignments for any course in any discipline, but also professional documents. So like resumes or cover letters, even scholarship essays, even dissertations. So I'll talk more about that in a second. And then we also have peer tutoring, which is one-on-one peer-to-peer tutoring of students in a specific course. And we offer this for more than 200 different courses on campus. This fall, all of our services are online. And the best place to see when services are being offered or how to sign up is to check out the Learning Commons website. We have a list of our services along the left-hand margin, and that will give directions to you or students in how to access our services. We also have success skills-based supports. So sometimes success in college is not rooted in a specific class. It's more of a holistic need, right? Maybe it's a habit or a whole approach to college and studying. So we offer 2 supports to help address this. The first is academic coaching, which is one-on-one appointment-based support that really focuses on helping students develop skills that will lead them to success across courses. It could be stress management, note-taking, reading, study skills. So we offer lots of supports there. And students actually work one-on-one with a coach, and they develop an accountability plan so that they can every week check in and see how that plan is coming to fruition and how they're improving along the plan that they help co-create with their coach. And then we also have success skills workshops. This is kind of parallel to academic coaching, but it's in a group setting. So if students aren't interested in that one-on-one kind of focus on them and their success, they can actually go and attend in a group setting, take with them some skills for their toolkit, and help them be successful in their college career. We also have a schedule on our website for the success skills workshops and the topics that are offered. A new topic is offered about every other week. And we generally offer a workshop every week. So we offer two workshops on the same topic, and the topics kind of progress through the semester. And we tailor these topics for the time of the semester. So we'll have some special ones around midterms and finals to help students get through those times as well. Before I shift gears exclusively to the Academic Writing Center, are there any questions regarding the Learning Commons?
Megan, I was wondering if there are opportunities for grads on both the mentor and mentee sort of roles. For example, do you ever take volunteers or hire graduates to work with you in the Learning Commons?
We do hire graduates in the Learning Commons. The most common place I would say is the Academic Writing Center. So I'll talk a little more about that in a second. We do hire a few graduate students in our other services. We do have some GA-ships available that come, around annually. So if you're interested in working as a graduate assistant, we can offer, we can offer a small GA-ship to a select few students to help support some of these programs. And I mean, if you are interested in working in one of our programs, specifically in the Math Center or maybe as an academic coach, we will interview and potentially hire some graduate students for those as well. I will say we most commonly hire undergraduates for those roles, but we have some fantastic graduate students who work in our programs as well.
Thank you. I'm also thinking of taking you up on the academic coaching. I think I could use a little benchmarking of my own. Thank you.
Sure. All right, so let me tell you a little bit more about the Academic Writing Center, because I think this is the service where we definitely support the most grad students and also have the most graduate student involvement. The graduate school is invested in the Academic Writing Center and helping us to provide services specifically tailored to graduate students. And so I really recommend that you take a look at what we offer to see if they can help you through your time here as a grad student at UC. So the Academic Writing Center, or AWC as we call it, offers writing tutoring to all UC students. It's part of the Learning Commons, as I mentioned, and it's free. I don't think I mentioned that in my past portion. All of the services we offer are free to students, which is incredible. Like these resources are available and it costs the students nothing additional than what they pay to attend UC. So just like that, the Academic Writing Center tutoring is also free. We employ and train both undergraduate and graduate students as tutors to help UC students with their writing. And we do offer this service for both undergraduates and graduate students to use. When we're in person, we are operating out of Langston Library, the 4th floor, or kind of the ground floor as you would enter off the that kind of quad area, which is now under construction. But if you walk in, we're just kind of right around the corner from the Starbucks. And we also are online, and the Writing Center has been online since before COVID. So we were well equipped to pivot to online when we needed to this past spring. To just give you an idea, we serve over 1,500 visits last year with almost 3,500 sessions. We also have an asynchronous paper review process, and we saw more than 500 of those. So we do a good little business out of the AWC to help students with their writing. Our goal is to really use your writing product to help improve the writing process and to promote independence in writing. So tutors will collaborate with students who come in to build and improve their draft, right, and build understanding of good writing practices. So we can help from beginning to end of the writing process. We can help brainstorm or outline. If you haven't started a writing assignment, we can help students like with their thesis, their structure, their flow, even understanding how to incorporate research and citations and that kind of thing. So we do it all at the Writing Center, and our tutors are trained to handle any stage of writing. We can help with any discipline, as I said, any stage and any skill level. So we really want to invite everyone to come on in. We help with us writing assignments such as papers, essays, and reports, but we will also help with professional writing. So if you're preparing a personal statement or a cover letter, even if you're working on a dissertation, we can help you with that. And I also recognize that the PFF program has some specifically targeted workshops and courses for these things. So, we're meant to kind of be a different source of support for you, not a replacement for that, but just like another kind of layer of support that might be helpful to you in a different way or a different time that meets your needs. Just a couple of points of clarification. That Writing Center tutors will work with you on your actual assignment or your actual paper. However, our tutors don't write for students who come in, and our students are not editors. So it's really important to think about what's the difference between writing tutoring and writing editing. Writing editing is really about let's fix the issues, let's correct the errors, and get the writing done. Writing tutoring is more about building understanding and helping the person become a more independent and confident writer. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about how we can be helpful. We really want to help you with improving your writing and being more confident in your writing. We're not the best source for just copy editing, a paper or a manuscript like that. So for fall, all of our services are online. We have two types of services that we're offering. The first is live online tutoring appointments through WebEx. Right, we offer those within our hours of operation, which you see listed here, and they're scheduled for 1 hour. The second service is an online paper submission for tutor feedback. So if you have a paper that is 6 pages or less double-spaced, you can actually submit it online, and a tutor will take a look at it asynchronously, and then they'll email you back some feedback within about 48 hours. There's no kind of back and forth with the tutor submission process, but if the appointments is not a format that'll work for you, perhaps the asynchronous submission would for feedback. And our services just began this week. I also want to highlight a really important part of our graduate support through the Writing Center, and that is our graduate writing workshop series. So this workshop series, like all of our services, is free to all grad students, and we pick topics that are relevant specifically to grad students and not just the general UC student population. So they happen weekly, and they're going to begin around the end of September, and they'll go up until just before Thanksgiving. The fall topics that we've chosen are shown here. So we're going to start out with graduate reading strategies, graduate styles of writing. There's a couple workshops on that. And then taking a look at how to write an outstanding CV or resume, comp exam strategies, and then crafting compelling syllabi and course descriptions, which I think will be really nice for any graduate student who is eyeing academia for their future career. We're getting this schedule and the signups together for this workshop series right now. And so you can visit the AWC website for the dates and times and to register for any of these workshops starting next week. And if you visit our website, there's a button on there or a sub page called Graduate Student Support, and that's where you'll find this information. The person who delivers these workshops is actually a senior graduate student from the English department. So she's, lived the graduate student life and knows a lot of the struggles and has a lot of great tips for workshop attendees. So I highly recommend that you take a look at these and come when you can. There's also some informational handouts on our website, specifically under the graduate student support page on a variety of topics. So, if you don't see something here in a workshop topic that you need, if you're interested in something more specific, like a teaching portfolio or maybe MLA format or something more specific, we have handouts on our website that can be informational for those as well. And lastly, I just want to mention that we do employ graduate students as writing tutors at the Academic Writing Center. And so if you have a passion for writing and you like to help students, if you would like to consider working with us, please get in touch with me. Here's my email address. We typically look to employ, students, and we hire a few every semester, depending on our attrition and our program needs. If you have an assistantship, with a graduate department, typically a 10 or 20 hour assistantship, we work with you on hours, and those with 20-hour assistantships will typically sign you up for about 4 hours a week of tutoring. And so we would love to have you if you like to write, you'd love to help students, and you'd like to be a tutor. We'll be interviewing any interested candidates for spring sometime around mid-fall. Here is just a list of some contact information for you. The Academic Writing Center web address, email address, as well as my email address, our hours, and then the Learning Commons contacts. So I'm really looking forward to working with you and supporting with you this semester. I hope that some of our resources can be useful for you now and in the future. Can I answer any questions about the Writing Center and how we can help you?
I am very excited about grad sessions that you also mentioned. And I'm so glad that you're able to join us for this session. I think these are great resources for graduates. So I hope that everyone made a note, but like I said, these resources will be available on our website as well. We're going to link all the information we can from these sessions so that you can get in touch with everybody. And just before, because I know, Megan, you have a lot of other things on your plate today. So before I let her go, though, are we sure we don't have any more questions regarding the Learning Commons or the Academic Writing Center? Okay, I always give it another second because of technical issues, but thank you so much for coming and joining us in orientation. And we'll be in touch again soon because I'm sure we can find some great ways to partner this year for grads as well.
I would love that. I would love to partner with you more closely. So yes, if any questions come up later on, please feel welcome to reach out to me. I can put my email address in the chat. And again, I hope to see some of you at the Academic Writing Center workshops or scheduling an appointment for tutoring through our website. Take care. Have a great orientation.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So I wanted to not only thanks to Megan, but now we're lucky to have one of our research librarians here. And we invited the research librarian representative, Ms. Hart, because the research librarians can become a very important part of graduate life here. I was introduced to my research librarian when I was in my first semester. I've been in her office many times now, and this is a very important resource out of the library to just help you get started, if whether it be, coursework or for your thesis. And they have so much insider knowledge of how databases and library resources work. So thank you so much for joining us today, Ms. Hart, and I will pass it off to you now.
Thank you, Chen, for this introduction. And that was actually my first question for everybody. Have you already, if anybody has already met your subject librarian? I don't know how things are happening this year. Usually there is a college level orientation at some point, right? And often subject librarians are part of this. So if you click on the little icon on the participants, and if you have had college orientation and met your subject librarian, can you please raise your hand? I'll give you a second to do that. Well, since I don't see any hands raised, not yet anyway, so I think that, I guess whatever I'm going to say is going to be new to you. And actually, I was going to, so I'm trying to share a screen to show you how you can find subject librarians on the our website. By the way, so I hope you have already discovered our library website, just libraries.uc.edu, very easy. And on our website, well, it's a little awkward now that I am sharing. I don't see all the bars. Okay, so on the library website, one of the links is one of the options in the drop-down menus is research and teaching support. And this is how you access subject librarians. So Chiang, can you let me know, are you actually seeing the subject librarians now? Because I have multiple screens open and I'm a little confused as to, which one is live. So can you guys see the subject
Yes.
librarians list?
It's perfect. I see all the librarians, and there's mine, Sally Moffett, under.
Yeah, fantastic. So what you do is you look up for your subject area. So you see an email. Phone numbers are not a good option for now because obviously we are all working from home, and most people should have their phones like redirected and should see in the email that they had a phone call. But I cannot suggest that this is the best method, but emailing us is really great. And because people monitor their emails pretty much all the time. But you can also see that if you need to get started, like, for example, it's like, late at night or it's a weekend. So what you see, one of the columns is online guides. And if you click on one of those online guides, okay, I'm going to click on anthropology, for example, you will see that those online guides are basically selections of important resources. So you will be pointed to, book search tips, for example, how to find dissertations and theses, how to find indexes and databases. So basically, you can get started before you talk to a librarian, thanks to those very detailed subject guides. I'm going to go back to the homepage and show you some other options that you can communicate with us. First of all, right now on the screen, you see you have a question, just ask. So during limited hours, so we haven't expanded that service to weekends and late hours yet. And I'm not sure how that is going to go. But like right now, for example, if you were to click on this link, you will be connected to a live chat with a librarian? This is a good question. If, this is a good option if, for example, you have a quick question, like, for example, oh, I'm on my way to the library. I just requested a book, things like that. Because please realize that this service is staffed by all kinds of people from, different avenues of library service. So if it's a deep kind of subject-related question, you are better off contacting your subject librarian. But if it's like a quick question, you need to know something, most likely you will be redirected to your subject librarian anyway. But just for you to be aware that there is this option. I'm going to point you to several areas on the library homepage and sort of demystify a little bit what they are, because some of them are not very accurate kind of names. So, okay, under the articles tab, and see like below the box, it says advanced summon search. So this tool is called Summon. It is like a meta search engine, sort of like Google Scholar, but it's different to Google Scholar in that it is specifically configured to search University of Cincinnati library catalog and selected databases. I want to emphasize selected because please don't expect it to be like a comprehensive search. For technical reasons, it cannot reach each and every database important in a certain discipline. And in some areas, it's better than others. But if you kind of want to get a basic idea of what's there on a topic, or it's a wonderful, wonderful tool. If you already have a specific article or book chapter, you can just enter the title, put it in quotation marks. It's always a good tip so that it searches for the words together and quickly finds the exact match. And then the results screen will have a link to the resource if we have it, or if we don't have it, you will have an option to request an item via our interlibrary loan. So you never have to pay for dissertations, pay for articles, which is what happens if you find them via Google, for example, and you go to a site or you didn't come through the University of Cincinnati library site, you will be asked to pay. So we have a lot of subscription resources. And if for whatever reason we don't have a particular article or a certain book chapter, we can request it for you, and it will be delivered to you electronically as a PDF. So if you, rather than search for a specific article, you are looking for a specific journal and you want to monitor the journal, for example, or you want to browse to a specific issue, you will use the Journals tab. Same with databases. If you are familiar with the databases that you need, or you want to select a database for your subject area, you can go to a specific database using that. But just wanted to remind you that, again, your subject-specific subject guide will point you to databases in your area as well. Now that everybody is working in an online environment and we're all working off campus, we configured all our search boxes to prompt you for an off-campus access. So once you enter your search and when you submit it, you will be prompted to log in for off-campus access with your user ID and password. After that, you should have access to resources and you shouldn't be getting those prompts that, you need to pay for the article. Troubleshooting our off-campus access pages. If something doesn't work, as you try to log in for off-campus, you will be prompted to change your password or user ID or whatever, and you can always ask a librarian for help. UC Online Library, this is something that we created quickly when we were migrating, when the university closed for COVID. I would not really encourage you to use that because this is really, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. It's like the top of the tip of the iceberg. So this is just kind of helpful to make big small. But if you use the resources in a way that I am describing to you, I think you will find it very helpful. If you scroll further down, here are our research guides, and you can select a subject because there is more than one guide. The one that I showed you in the subject librarians page, those are just the top guides. But if you want to browse all guides, so you will click that link. And I wanted to let you know that we do have a guide for graduate students. So I am going to type in graduate students. Some of the guides may be specific to a course or even a specific assignment, but we have graduate student guide. And as you see, there are actually several of them because I am the author and owner of the guide for graduate students guide to library resources and services. But some of my colleagues took my guide and made, on the basis of that guide, made more specific ones, like the one for psychology, for example. But I wanted to show you quickly the Graduate Students Guide to Library Resources and Services. And I believe we have shared this link with you, that we structured that guide in such a way that it takes you through all the steps of the research process and what libraries can do for you. You know, how you can get alert services, for example, what we do. You know, our colleagues at the Academic Writing Center do help you a lot with your citation management, but what do we have on the library side? What do we have to help you present and publish your work? So if you bookmark this guide and keep it as your resource, you will find that it helps you on all stages of research throughout your career. And one last thing I wanted to show you is that on our library page, as far as updates on service go, because some of you live close to campus and you will want to go to libraries and physically use the libraries, which are currently open as, you know, as buildings and for some limited services. In order to get the most recent updates on what's working, what's open, you will go to About, and we have a COVID-19 page. And that tells you exactly what is going on. Here are some basic things that are happening. Click and collect. This is the service because our book stacks are temporarily closed. You cannot grab your own books. You have to request the books in advance. So that tells you more about the click and collect service. And then since different locations function differently because, you know, of their staffing capabilities are different and, you know, because of other considerations, you are better off clicking on your specific library location to learn how they are currently operating. So I believe that this is something that this is basically all I wanted to share with you for now. So at this point, I would just like to welcome any questions you might have. Or, you know, if you think of questions later, please email me anytime, or now that you've found out how to find your subject librarian, please write to them, say hello, and they are there to help you with just about anything you need. Any questions right now?
I did put the library guide that you authored into the chat. Thank you. That is a great thing to keep in your bookmarks for sure. And every time I feel a little upset about the cost of tuition, I remember the article and databases that you showed us, the article access, because, you know, writing academic papers, that access through the UC library to all of those journals is worth its weight in gold. So that is a very important resource we have here. Does anyone have any other questions for our head resource librarian or research librarian, Ms. Hart?
Oh, and by the way, I was very happy to see that somebody already met their subject librarian. So I guess Jenny Doctor at CCM, you know, she's wonderful. And I am sorry that you know, I didn't explain very well how to find, you know, the participants panel to raise your hand. But believe me, guys, you will all be experts in WebEx. Between WebEx, Teams, and Zoom, you will be very, very proficient with those tools very quickly. Yes, and I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself as far as my subject area. So I am the selector and liaison for German studies, languages and cultures, and I do a lot of collection development for film studies, film and media studies. But I'm also coordinator of instruction, so I'm sort of a generalist, if you will. So you know, I can't say, and I know people and resources really well. So I am a good point for referral. But that's it.
I was wondering, there was a resource that I was put in touch with my first semester, and I was wondering if you could talk about it. It's a way that through the website I was able to highlight journals that were most it's sort of interest and important to my field, and then every time the library got a new updated, you know, when the new issue would come in either digitally or physically, it would alert me. And then once, because keeping up on, you know, the state of the field is very important, no matter what field you're in. So I would make time once a semester to go into the library or stay in my office and just read through some of the journals, look at the articles. I was wondering if the library still has that service to sort of collect journals for us.
Oh, you mean like print journals?
Yes, print, or sometimes it would also update me when the library, when those journals would update digitally too. Yeah.
Right. So this service you're talking about is called Alert Services, and in the guide, the the library guide for graduate students, one of the tabs on the left, the navigation tabs, and one of the pages is called Stay Current or Keep Current, and it talks about exactly those services. So this is specific to different databases, specific to different vendors. And so, for example, many of the journals are made available to us via, for example, EBSCOhost database, right? Or through the Ohio Link Electronic Journal Center, EJC. It is sort of similar but different. So, and I give you directions there how to do it through different services. So basically what you would do is you would go and create like a profile, and there are different ways of alerts that you can set up for certain journal titles to send you alerts when a new issue comes up. You can do it by topic, or you can enter a very complex search string that, you know, for example, you know, like for your dissertation topic or, you know, whatever, you know, you can have a very complicated string that, you know, specifies that you want certain words to be your keywords plus certain words plus by certain authors and meet some other criteria and exclude some other criteria. And librarians will be happy to help you sort of build that search strategy. And you can save that search strategy. And whenever new titles come up, it will notify you, and it will have links to those articles. So there is no need to come to libraries because, well, how shall I say this? There will be instances when the most recent articles are not yet available through databases. And the most recent articles will be actually in print journals, and you will have to come to the library. I don't know how long we will have to quarantine our materials. So, because right now, the entire access is the librarian has to select something for you and put it up for you. I'm sure that those articles will be scanning for you and sending them to you. So things are a little bit different right now. So you will not be going to the library to pick your journals. There is no access to print journals currently, but we can always find a way to deliver the specific article to you. And maybe if we do hand out print journals, please realize that everything that you request, well, first of all, the material will be made available like after typically the next day. But sometimes if it just has been returned, our quarantine period is 6 days. So those quarantines cause some service delays.
That's very good to know. We're all operating under some new interesting guidelines during this whole set of circumstances. So thank you very much. And if anyone does have more questions, you can email her specifically. We will also be putting the links on our website after all the sessions have completed. And I just want to thank you very much again for delivering all this important information to us, Ms. Hart. And if everyone is ready to move on, then we will go back to the graduate school. And thank you very much for waiting.
Thank you.
I think Ariel, you will be taking it from here, right?
Yep.
Great. Thank you again, Ms. Hart.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Hi, guys. I'm Ariel. I am the graduate assistant for professional development and student outreach at the grad school. So I'm going to just share my screen right now to our PowerPoint. Can everybody see it? Okay, so back to what Megan was discussing before. She was talking about the PFF program. And so I'm going to talk about a few more of our professional development aspects and offerings at the grad school. So we have these professional development courses. Megan had talked about the teaching effectiveness and academic job search. I just wanted to emphasize that, I just wanted to emphasize that even if you're not in PFF, you can take these courses. We also have career professionalism for graduate students. And then the last one is this interdisciplinary dissertation writing workshop. Remember this for whenever you get to that stage, because this is a really helpful course. We've heard tons and tons of great things from students and faculty alike. So details can be found, and let's see if I can click on this and it'll take me to the right spot here. So this is our professional development and our courses. Can you guys see that? I'm just gonna hope that that's a yes. So that's what this is. I'm gonna go back to my, trying to get back to my camera here. So the next thing is our 3-minute thesis competition. This is similar as far as just looking out for opportunities once you get further in the process of writing your dissertation. Our thesis is the 3-minute thesis competition. I kind of like to talk about this as like the mother of all PD competitions. So there's the research communication, which is a huge part of it. That's what you learn. These are necessary skills for a career in or out of academia. The competition itself requires students to craft a 3-minute persuasive speech on what their research is and why it matters. And we also offer coaching sessions to polish the speech and practice public speaking skills. So that's kind of why I call it the mother of all professional development events and programs, is because it really offers a lot and you get a lot out of it. So just remember that. And then, yeah, just to kind of cap off of that, which is just at the beginning of each academic year, check out the professional development page, see what's new, how you can get involved. It's definitely worth your time because things change, as we've seen with COVID, and we're always putting up new information and sending out new updates. So that brings me to my next point, which is the graduate student workshops. So the first one that we're going to be having this semester, we had it last year, Visual Communication Principles. It was a wonderful workshop. I learned a lot personally, just about how to communicate some of the important information about my research without actually saying it. So emphasizing some of those more important findings, creating tables, creating a PowerPoint that flows logically. All of these kinds of things you're going to learn in this. We are also going to be doing another workshop on knowing your audience. That's also a repeat of last year. And that was also very helpful for research communication skills, which is the audience, like communicating to your audience, knowing what your audience is. That's going to be so key to how much information you're going to have to add when you're talking about your research and your work and the jobs that you've had. So for spring semester, that kind of leads into the next point, which is navigating the job search. And we tend to do one that has to focus on the cover letters and resumes. We did one last year in conjunction with the Writing Center, actually. And then we tried to do something a little bit different to be announced. We'll see. Because of COVID, we probably are going to try and do something that will be helpful during the time of COVID. So our workshops are on our website. So if you want to register for this workshop, you can. You just go here and you click on here and it will send you right to the job form. So let me go back to my slide. So I also wanted to point out another resource on our website, that is the Current Student tab. There are a few great things, especially for new students. So we have our Getting to Know Cincinnati. So this will be helpful for just things to do, places to go, resources for food, etc., socializing. And then we have UC Lingo. I would say that this is going to be the most helpful your first semester. Things you just don't necessarily hear about. I just got a message asking if, oh, you guys can't see the website? So, let's see. Are we good now? Can we see it?
Yeah, that looks great.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, knowing that, so this is our new student tab. It's under current students. So we have Know Your Lingo. We have Get to Know UC. I also want to point out our grad life and student resources. That will be really helpful for academic services, administrative, graduate student career development, all of the categories you see here. And before I was talking about on our professional development tab, this is the tab itself that you should be checking back to. And then these are where the workshops are. So here's the register for principles of visual communication. And then here is our professional development courses. So what I was saying is under current students, we have quite a few helpful links for new students and just maneuvering around campus. We have some important dates and deadlines, award opportunities. You will definitely be going here and here once you get close to graduation. So then let's see if I can now navigate back to go back to our PowerPoint. All right. Just a few more things I want to share. So keeping an eye out for all of the opportunities that we offer, such as job openings, upcoming events, important deadlines, useful information about grad life in general. The first place is going to be Grad Currents. You should be getting that every Tuesday as a current student, a current grad student at UC. And similar to Grad Currents, just usually it's a little bit more flowery, of course, because it's social media, is our social media handles. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of the same announcements are going to be there as well, plus a little extra. And then just to remind you all that the grad school is remotely open during COVID. So you can reach us by email. You can also reach us by social media. Send us a direct message, a private message, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. And then just to remind you all that we are not having students in the office this year because of COVID, at least this semester. We'll let you know if anything changes. And Megan, is there anything else that I need to add?
I think that's it. So if people have questions for us about grad school professional development offerings, we might have a few minutes to answer that.
You can always send us an email at gsdevelop at uc.edu, or you can email Megan at megan.tishner@uc.edu. I think Megan's going to write them in the group.
I'm writing it right now.
And
I have a question.
oh yeah.
So how often can one participate in the 3-minute thesis?
Every year, if you want to.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't have any sort of limits on how often you can participate. We have had students participate multiple times, and we only advise that you should be at the stage where you have at least some preliminary findings, because as the competition is structured, it really is intended to focus a little bit more on what you have accomplished with your research. So it doesn't really lend itself to talking about a project that you are proposing or a project that you've just started.
Great, thank you for that clarification.
Does the grad school also do the poster competition? And isn't there also a conference as well?
Not anymore. So unfortunately, we had decreased participation in post forum over the years. So what we decided to do was, instead of doing our grad school expo, which had the poster forum and the 3-minute thesis, what we decided to do was focus on the 3-minute thesis, and we increased our prize offerings for the 3-minute thesis. So first place winner of the 3-minute thesis now gets $1,000.
Oh, well, okay. And then they also get a chance to, is there a competition beyond the UC one as you move up?
Yes, thank you for asking. So our UC winner for the 3-minute thesis, that person is forwarded to the Midwestern Regional Competition, the MAGS, Midwestern Association of Graduate Schools. So our winner represents UC in the regional competition. Whoever wins that regional competition competes with other regional US winners at the national one. And then the national winner is sent along to the international competition, which is hosted by the University of Queensland. So this year, the competition did have to switch to a virtual format, and they are finally holding the virtual regional competition later this month. Though I don't think it's something that can be publicly viewed. But typically, our winner is sent to an in-person event, usually in April, to compete against other students from Ohio, Kentucky, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana. There's a few other states too. So, yes.
Okay, great. Good to know. All right, well, there's so many resources that the grad school has available. And I can't wait to sign up for some of those workshops myself this year. I finally have some time in my schedule to do it. So, and I have a lot of colleagues who've participated in all of these different resources and have spoken very highly about it. So just one more time, I wanted to ask if anybody had questions about some of the things we discussed here in the professional development session today. And if not, then I believe, Park, did you want to say something about the gift certificate?
Well, not really. I mean, I think we can definitely. I would first of all thanks to all the students who attended this session, and we will be selecting one random student to win a $25 gift certificate from GSG. Just a welcome from our side here, and that's pretty much it, Chan.
Oh, okay, great. Sorry, I just want to make sure I didn't mix it up. Okay, good. So, like I said, this session has been recorded, and I guess the last thing I would mention is there is one other graduate organization called the Graduate Association of Teaching Enhancement that is run out of CETL, which is the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning. And CETL is also housed in Langston Library, but that department, that the division is, they have a lot of professional, especially for staff and faculty, they have a lot of professional opportunities available. But GATE, the Graduate Association, is run by graduate students, and we are there to help graduate students as they hone their teaching skills, especially as TAs. We take care of two especially good workshops during the year. One of them is called Teach Me to Teach, and the other is called Get Up and Go. And these two workshops are to help you be the best TA that you can be, and of course provide a toolkit for you that you can take on into your professional career. Thank you, Megan, for the CETL website. I will put my info too in the chat. But if you are interested in GATE, I'll put it up here, my email address. And GATE is, as I said, run by grad students. And if you are interested in being involved in an organization that does look specifically at professional development opportunities for graduates, please do email me. And it's a great networking resource. We have a lot of successful grads from across disciplines that are involved in GATE. And we're always looking to expand our programming repertoire. And it gives you a great chance to practice, I guess, just practice the sorts of things that you would need to be a good TA, good RA, and then eventually a good professor. And I think it works very well hand in hand with some of the things that PFF offers as well. So I just wanted to add that note on at the end. I'm on the board of GATE. That's why I just wanted to put that little product placement in there. So otherwise, I'm really glad that you could come today, and thank you again to all of our speakers, and especially Megan and Ariel. I know you're still here, and I really appreciate you both. Thank you so much. And please feel free to email if you have any more questions. And don't forget, we have our mental health session at 4:30. And so grads, I hope you're having a great start to your semester, and hope to see you all soon in person. Thank you so much.